Hello, this is Eliza Kendall coming to you from Gubby Gubby country in the Sunshine Coast in Australia. It is the 24th of February 2021 and this is a fortnightly spirit report. So the spirit reports for this year, I have been inviting in very particular people with very particular codes and fields of study that they are in so that we can ask more targeted, focused questions as I'm channeling with some of the guides and spirits that are willing to speak with us. So today, Spirit has delivered us the perfect person. This is Lauren. And I'm going to let Lauren let you know why she's here and her field of interest and also the theme we're going to be talking about today.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, and yeah, it's definitely divinely aligned itself today. So I had a session with Eliza earlier, and yeah, she was like, I need someone to do my spirit report, and it turns out I'm actually a former journalist and do podcasting and things like that, but where my work is really led me to is around supporting people in intimacy and relationships and sexuality, and feminine embodiment is really what my work is about. So I go under the name Lauren Renee Intimacy is where you find me online and across my channels as well on social media. And yeah, I really support people to break down the conditions that they have around sexuality and love and relationships and actually get into the body and really heal on a somatic level around these pieces as well. So I work with various different modalities in my work and really support people to come into this, I suppose, new earth way of how we approach our relationships and intimacy and all of these pieces, because sexuality in the world has been so tainted and the way that we relate has been so tainted as well, and we really need to move through this and come into this freedom in the way that we relate with ourselves and each other and with life. So I'm looking forward to interviewing you and interviewing Spirit today.
Me too.
Yeah, I've recently written a book called Unconditional, which is breaking down all of these conditions that we have around sex and love and relationships. So I'm curious to get some clarity around this and really support others that are journeying this in the collective as well.
Wonderful. It's definitely a theme that's been coming up for me in my personal life in the last few weeks, and I've been really digging deep into my own understanding of intimacy and how I relate to the opposite. So I'm thrilled that this is the topic, and I've also really noticed, particularly over the last year or so, the call and the need from many clients and their spirit guides to re-look at what it is to connect with the opposite, to really look at where the separation between the masculine and feminine still needs healing, what we can do. And also I want to say to recalibrate what that looks like as well. I feel like we have been moving through with certain ideas about how to heal with the masculine and the feminine. And I think that's fantastic, but I want really current information. I want it to be new earth now. I'm hoping that the spirits today and whoever wants to sort of speak with us will give us something really progressive, really an updated, perspective, so that we can, continue to negate the chaos really and just heal and unify. That's why we're here, right? Yeah. So yeah, I'm really glad that you're here to also just help us to guide and get some really awesome info. Yeah, I don't know who's going to come. I don't know who wants to speak yet. I can sort of feel them discussing it as we sort of lay out the vibe of what we want. Some of the ones I work with sort of like, okay, who wants to address this today? And should we bring someone new in? So we'll see. They're having a little discussion about that. So yeah, you all know what it looks like and what's going to happen if you've seen me before. If not, I am a psychic medium. Basically, I just have a capacity to communicate with spirit, but today I'm also going to be channeling. So I'm simply going to ask if there is a being that has positive information and appropriate intentions for us that wants to share around what we've just discussed, then they're welcome to come and speak through me. So yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm just going to drop in and then they'll just kind of say, yes, ask your questions now or something like that. It's typically what's said. Yes, okay, we are willing to speak with you, and we have some information we would like to share.
Great. So I would really love to clarify on what I've really seen on this planet around how we experience our relationships and our intimacy with other people. We can see a lot of this attachment to the idea of needing to have like what we know as a romantic partnership to experience the depth of love and intimacy and connection that we're all deeply desiring. What do you feel is the true purpose for our relationships here on this planet?
Oh, well, it is very simple. The true purpose of any relationship, whether it be with the wind or an animal or a human, no matter what gender they are, or whether it is romantic or whether it is parental or whether it is friendship, is simply to learn. You are here with one another to learn what it is to be here with one another, existing within this polarized light-based reality. It is simply an experience. It is a great school for you to learn and understand yourselves, and you learn and understand yourselves better, let's say, or more efficiently when you have others to learn and understand with and from. And again, this doesn't just apply to other humans, it also applies to other forms of consciousness.
And this concept of our romantic relationships, I can see how this is causing people a lot of pain and disconnection from love in this seeking of a romantic partner. What can you see are these real conditions that are playing out in humanity right now, that and how is this affecting us?
Yes, it is. We see it as a very limited way of living. It is a very limited way of understanding and experiencing what it is to be a human, what it is to be in the physical condition. For romance is everywhere. You experience romance with yourself whenever you look at yourself in the mirror and decide that you like something about what you see. It is romantic, is it not? When you look at the moon and you feel nostalgic, you feel romance, do you not? You may be with another person, you may be with yourself, you may be with your dog, you may be simply sitting there with a ladybug. Nonetheless, it is a romantic experience, and you have developed a connection, and the connection is where the fulfillment is. The connection is what it is you are seeking. But there is this interesting thing that is occurring as you are learning and understanding yourselves and the nature of connection. You are learning and understanding it through the contrasted lens, and so you learn and understand the push-pull. You learn and understand the I want to move closer to you and I want to move further away from you. You learn to understand it through the yes and the no. But many of you simply want the move closer, and you want the yes, and you want the now, and you want your experiences of connection to look a certain way, to feel a certain way. And yet we wish to say to you that connection in itself is, well, we could say the goal. Connection itself is the end game, so to speak. If you think of yourself as playing a game on Earth that you wish to get to an end point, the end point is ultimate connection. And what does that mean? It means simply remembering and recalling your connection with all things. It does not mean remembering and recalling your connection with one human. So the opportunities to learn, to connect, to feel fulfillment, to feel satisfaction, to feel contentment are presented to you moment to moment to moment to moment with every engagement you have with any other vibrational being. You can feel a deep sense of intimate, romantic connection with a candle, can you not?
And so what about these concepts of finding the one, or even in like the spiritual communities of having this like soulmate or twin flame, and these kind of ideas that are playing out? Is this something that is serving us, that we should be waiting out for?
For some it is serving, for others not so much. It depends on the understanding, and we wish to say the attachment to these words. Some of these concepts, these words as they are put together to create a vibrational frequency, have become wrapped up in fear and therefore are simply not encouraging evolution or comfortability in your skin as a human having a wonderful, magnificent earth experience. And so we are encouraging you to pause and suspend some of those ideas, some of the archetypal energies of, let's say, a twin flame or a soulmate. You have many soulmates, and yes, your soulmate may be the fire. Your soulmate may be the dog. Eliza certainly has an experience where her soulmate is her dog, and she has had to come to accept the fact that her soulmate is not going to look like a rock star, and that is okay, because she has come to understand that the opportunity to connect at a soul level, to connect with a soul who she already has a soul connection with, will be presented to her time and time again as she journeys through this one particular incarnation. She has many soulmates. Whenever she feels an instant connection with another human, it is a soulmate. And so the soulmate need not to be attached to a romantic partner who becomes the one who fulfills everything that you have ever felt you needed fulfilling. For the fulfillment can, of course, only come within, and we know that you know this, and we do not wish to speak to this anymore because we feel as if you have full understanding of this, and it is simply something that needs to be shaken off, kind of like an old coat. It's just something that you're wearing and you don't need to be wearing it anymore. And as to the twin flame thing, well, we feel as if this should perhaps be suspended for some time, and it would be more appropriate or perhaps more advantageous for you all to simply feel yourself deeply connected to the energy, the entity of the planet that you are on, the exquisite femininity of the earth, and then to feel yourself deeply connected and deeply held by the exquisite light, the exquisite masculinity coming from above, and to feel yourself held as if you are a divine angelic baby held between the mother and the father, and you are simply suspended here within whole love. And you can simply exist here within whole love. And as you exist here within the wholeness of love, you can witness and engage with everyone with the wholeness of love. And it doesn't matter if that person excites you in the way that it turns on your sexual receptors and you wish to become sexually engaged with that person. And what a fun thing and what an exciting thing that is to be. And would it be okay to sexually engage with other people even if they weren't the one, even if they weren't the soulmate, even if they weren't someone that you thought you could spend your entire life with, sexually engaging with? Would it be okay to allow yourself to express love through all your chakras without creating shame, blame, judgment, or expectation?
And where do you feel all of this shame and expectation is really coming from, and how can people really move through that?
Well, it is simply coming from old coats that have been worn again and again and again and again and again on top of the human skin, and it is a bit as if when you grew your human skin, you also grew with it the memory of that old coat. And we want to say it doesn't matter where it's come from, because it is moving off your planet right now as we speak to you. It is moving out of your fields right now as we speak to you. It is no longer your reality, and so it does not matter where it come from or why it got there. There is not necessary, and in many ways we want to say the time for spending hours and hours and angst and much mental energy trying to figure out where it came from and who is to blame and why it got there is somewhat gone. For most of you listening to this now, that is a waste of your energy, and you do not need to contemplate or consider that. It is more appropriate for you where you are at in your state of evolution, your current understanding of all that is, for you to simply choose to no longer wear that coat and decide for yourself what kind of coat you want to wear instead. Because if you are not choosing the coat that you want to wear, which means how do you want to relate? What is a better way that feels better inside of yourself to connect and relate to other people? What feels nice? What feels good to all parts of you? What does not create conflict or chaos inside of you? Connect, relate, engage in that way with all life forms. But if you are not choosing for yourself the way that you wish to engage, then it is more than likely, as it currently stands right now, and we are moving through this, but as it currently stands right now, you have asked this question, it is often quite likely that you will simply keep putting on that same coat that you have always worn. If you go out without a coat on, someone else will give you their coat because they will think that you need a coat. They will think that you are cold and you are without coat, and so they will give you their coat. And you put the coat on and you go, hang on a minute, this coat feels like the other coat. I don't even want this coat, but I forgot to put my own on before I left the house. So we're encouraging you to choose how you want to relate moving forward. Decide for yourself from your own sovereignty and heart's intelligence. You know the way. You don't need us to tell you. You don't need some guru to tell you how to connect. It is intrinsic, innate, organic. It is in fact your destiny.
And what about these labels that we are placing on ourselves around things like relating styles and sexual orientations and pieces like that, like these concepts that create these identities in the way that we relate with people in a romantic sense, in a sexual sense, in all of these different pieces. Are we moving beyond these labels?
Well, it is favourable to move beyond the labels, yes, because the labels are archetypes, and the archetypal energies playing out on this planet have previously been inspiring. They have previously been positive energies for you to look up to, for you to, we want to say, assimilate or rise up to meet or triumphasize to see if you like it and to see if it fits for you. They are modelled for you in many ways, but these energies are now wanting for you to choose for yourself in sovereignty the way forward for you that contributes to peace. And so we wish to say to you that whatever way you wish to relate, whatever way you wish to connect, whatever identifying qualities you want, whatever gender you choose to engage with, whatever type of relationship you wish to set up for yourself between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 100 people, we don't care. There is no plan that we have for you of what is the best way for you to have a relationship. What is the best type of relationship? What is the purest way to connect? Is it okay for one sex to connect with another sex? Is it okay for one partner to have many different lovers? These things are simply your chosen way of understanding yourself. That is all. They are helpful for you to try them on for size so that you can see if it fits and if it feels good. But we are, well, because you have asked, we are wanting you to know that you will very soon get to a point where none of them fit. None of those that are already established as an archetypal energies or a set way of relating that someone else has said is the very best way that you should also follow, none of them will feel right for you, and you will know that you have to form your own and that you are constantly updating your way of relating, and you may move through 7 different archetypes within an hour of relating with one person. And what an exciting, fun, joyous experience, dynamic experience that will be for you if you so choose.
And I suppose a lot of the teachings that we are seeing people come into in this space at the moment are around masculine and feminine energy, and we're seeing a real rise of people understanding the feminine and then a healing of the masculine as well. Can you speak to what's kind of playing out in these polarities on the planet right now?
Yes, there is we see a great confusion taking place. There is a shifting and a shuffling, and there has been, of course, a shifting and a shuffling of the way the feminine move through the world, the way they, well, again, we want to say connect, not necessarily the way they connect with others. We want to focus on the way that they connect with themselves, the way they connect with their physicalities. This has been an energy that has been continually evolving at quite a rapid rate, and the speed of this evolution has, we can see, created some confusion with those who are in the masculine condition, because again, there was a certain we want to say selection of archetypal energies that the masculine used to understand the feminine. And there was a certain amount of archetypal energies that the feminine used to understand the masculine. And many of these archetypal energies have been and are being transformed, and some of them have been smashed to smithereens, and some of them have been labeled, well, very unsavory and unacceptable. And it is okay to be deciding what is appropriate and what is acceptable for you as a society and what isn't. But in this matter, we are encouraging you to pause all judgment and all expectations. And we know this is something that requires great presence, dedication, focus, and attention for you to move through your spaces again and again as much as you can, and to meet with the opposite sex without expectation and without judgment of how they will be, how they should be, when they should be, in what way, where, etc., etc. Instead, we encourage you, no matter what gender you are, to stand firmly on the earth with your feet pressed firmly on the earth, to send your love for the earth down from your heart space, down through your body into the earth, and then to allow yourself to receive the acceptance, the appreciation, and the awe of the earth as she comes to witness you in your physical condition. She deems your body divine. She deems your body most magnificent, most beautiful, and perfectly constructed. She deems your body, be it masculine and feminine, as a part of it all, an important, sacred, dynamic part of a large experience. We want to say a large adventure, a large playground on earth. Your vessel, your physical body, is the chosen vehicle for you to play on earth, for you to experience the earth. And so you have chosen your gender in order to experience this current reality as that gender. And part of that experience is receiving and learning and witnessing the opposite. And you have chosen to be on one side so you could witness the opposite. So in many ways, we want to say to you, the most important learnings for you, if you are a woman, are going to come from men. If you are a man, the most important learnings are going to come from women. So witness, receive, learn from one another. Do not insist that one another give you certain parameters of relationship in order for you to learn from one another. Every time you engage with someone of the opposite sex, there is an opportunity for you to learn how to bring you closer, how to heal this conflict, this separation between you. It is very simple, is it not?
So in saying that, are we going beyond these teachings that we've seen around relationships in more of a conscious way that are very focused on women being more in their feminine and men being more in their masculine? Are we looking to balance these energies within both sexes more so.
Yes, but as with many things, you go through something in order to come out the other side of it with the information. So go through the full acceptance of your divine condition. If you are a woman, become the most feminine of women you can possibly be. Feel yourself in that full feminine expression, and then allow yourself to swing into a masculine expression, but allow yourself to feel your masculine qualities as they move through your feminine body. For your masculine qualities do not want to move through a masculine body or a masculine external self, because they have chosen to be in the feminine. So yes, you are moving into a place, and in the far future we could potentially say to you now, where you have no gender, where you are simply both energies unified in one, and you can't even necessarily tell the difference between what is a man and what is a woman. That is, as it currently stands, the trajectory that you are on, but that is some ways off, and for now we wish to invite you to enjoy the condition that you are in. If you are in the feminine condition, get to know every single part of that body and enjoy its senses, all 5 senses. Enjoy it being touched, enjoy it touching, enjoy it being tasted, enjoy it tasting, enjoy it being smelt, enjoy it smelling. Enjoy these things with as much femininity as you can, and then let that femininity hang out with some masculinity. And then as the two of you are hanging out, you may find that this balance occurs, and that you can simply choose which aspect of yourself is brought out in any given moment. Is it more appropriate to use action, or is it more appropriate to be in a receiver mode? And you can pull out the aspects within yourself as you so choose from a conscious place.
I would love for you to share your perspective on the way that we approach our sexual energy on the planet right now. What can you see is happening for humanity and how we relate to our sexuality?
Yes, sexuality is having a recalibration, purification. We wish to make it a little more simple than this. We wish to say that your sexual receptors are just like your emotional receptors. They are navigational tools. They are guiding you to divinity. They are guiding you to your happy place. They are guiding you to a state of bliss and ecstasy within yourself. And so if you feel as if you want to explore sexual energy, if it feels enjoyable for you, if it feels nice and fun for you, and if you feel as if you wish to explore it with someone else and it feels nice and fun for them too, then explore it in any way you so choose, for as long as you so choose. It is beautiful. And so there is a shifting going on in the way that you think of and experience, and we want to say embody the expression of sexuality, of sensuality. It is changing because there has been we want to say that there has been other agendas playing out that have encouraged you time and time again to think of sexuality as being something that is creating pain, that is causing trauma, of sexuality being something that actually keeps the sexes separate. Men have sexuality that is expectant that women will act a certain way, and women have a sexuality that is expectant that men will act a certain way. And this is why we say to you, simply meet one another without expectation and judgment, and then feel within your delicious divine bodies if you would like to move closer, and in what way you would like to move closer. And it doesn't matter if you are in a masculine body and you wish to engage with someone else in a masculine body. Feel the energies merging. Imagine that there are tendrils of sexual energy are sent out, and you send out your tendril of energy and you send it out to someone I would like to connect with you sexually, and you send out this little excitement, this little like spark. And if the spark is met with another spark, then yes, enjoy such a beautiful thing. You might send that spark out and the spark is met with a very resounding no, or the spark is simply met with no response. And so do not continue that avenue. Maybe your spark wishes to be sent out to someone else, or maybe your spark wishes to simply be sent to the earth or sent to the sun, and you wish to feel the sun penetrate you, and you wish to connect with the masculine energy of the sun and feel that penetrate in your sexual body. And what a delightful, delicious feeling that too will be. And so we wish to share with you also that sexual energy ebbs and flows. If it is not met in the desired way, it will not be lost. It will simply move around. It is in the law of perpetual motion, as is all other experiences, and it will simply move and ebb and flow. And so it rises and lowers, and it is like a wave, and it moves around, and it's totally fine for it to be moving around. And really, in this moment, we simply encourage you to maintain consciousness, maintain your awareness with it. Be aware of your own sexual energy and take governance over it. This is part of why sexual energy has been, it has a lot of shame and negativity and fear around it, is because it simply has not been used with consciousness and awareness. And it has not been used in a way that those who were sharing their sexual energy were taking full responsibility for it. And taking full responsibility for any energy that you share means that you are the governor of it, and you can invite others to share it with you. And if they do not wish to share it with you, then you are continuing to be the governor of it. You are not forcing the other person to share it with you. You are then using that energy in a different way, or simply inviting that energy to go to somewhere where it is received.
Do you see there's a new way that we're shifting in the way that we relate to each other in our intimate relationships, in our sexual relationships? Is there a really big change that is happening in future for us?
Well, we wish to say the change is happening now, and you know of it happening, and you can look at your history and see how the changes have already played out, and you can see how much more freedom there is for many to express themselves and to manage and govern their own sexual energy without others telling them how it should or shouldn't be done. And this is really where it is at. The progression for you, the evolution for you in regards to this issue is around simply the conscious, everyday, moment to moment awareness and management of your own energy. Yes, and desires. You are responsible for your desires. Others are not responsible to meet your desires. You're responsible to fulfill them for yourself. But again, we wish to remind you that there are many avenues to connect in a sensuous, sexual way.
And with regards to this relationship between men and women, is there still a deep disconnection that we're really seeing? And how can we move towards more unity between the sexes?
Yes, we are appreciative of this question as you ask this question, and we have a little closer look at the collective. We can see that there is much stagnancy, burdens, conflict, pain, fear from one another that is stored within the sexual centers, yes, but we are noticing it is stored within the hip area of many of you, and it is stored down in the legs, and there are blockages, we wish to say, in the lower chakras. And so the invitation for you, if you wish to contribute in a positive way to the healing of this, is to ensure that you are maintaining the purification of your own vessels, particularly in the lower regions. And this means that you are taking measures, whatever they may be, to clean and clear any fear, separation, negativity, judgment of the opposite sex out of your physical vessels, and that you are simply offering that tension, that conflict, that fear, etc. to the earth. She is more than willing to, well, we wish to say, upgrade that knowledge and intellect for you. She is ready to show you what it is to hold love and also to hold a neutral space for both genders. She is doing that as we speak to you in this moment. She is, what a wonderful example she is for you. What a wonderful teacher this planet is for you. And we will always encourage you to turn to her intelligence if you wish to clarify anything about how to live more peacefully, more harmoniously on her, with her, as her.
And can you speak to this concept of experiencing unconditional love in our relationships? Can we truly have relationships with one another without conditions around love?
It is a challenging task, is it not? It is one that we have absolute faith you are getting. You are updating your system, your mind, your intelligence right now to this way of being, yes, the way of unconditional love. And there are examples of this for you playing out. And again, we turn your attention to the earth. We are curious, do you have unconditional love for Gaia? If you are caught in a storm, do you hate her? If you are in an earthquake, do you dismiss, do you deny her? Do you still love her? Do you still give her love? If your children do something very naughty, do you still love them? If your pet does something naughty, do you still love it? There are evidences and pathways, and already the vibrational frequency of unconditional love in its pure form is being modeled for you on this planet. But it is mostly not yet being modeled within the human condition between the sexes as they witness and stand for one another. But it is something you are progressing to. And so if you are interested in, we want to say, amplifying the energy of unconditional love and holding that frequency and being in that and allowing it to emanate out from you so that it can move into the field, then find the unconditional love where you can, where it is easy and graceful, where you do not have to struggle to accept it, where you do not have to fight and dig around and argue with yourself. You must love this person unconditionally. It is not necessarily appropriate to be at this stage in your development putting the expectation that you will be able to not bring some conditions into your relationships, because at the moment some conditions are there in order to help you to feel safe, in order to help you to feel comfortable, to unfurl, to unravel and feel yourself in that loving connection, heart to heart. So we want to say, do not put too much pressure on yourself for this. If you are able to find 10 seconds of pure unconditional love as you gaze upon your lover, hold on to that. If in 10 seconds you find him to be very annoying, that is okay. You are growing, you are learning. And again, we simply encourage you to build the energy and the understanding of unconditional love within to your field, within to your physicality, little by little. Your physical body is currently struggling with conflict around the energy of unconditional love because it is not used to it being part of its makeup. But you are little by little, more and more, changing the molecular structure of the human condition. You are changing the vibrational frequency at which you all exist at. It is, of course, rising, and you know this, and as it rises, unconditional love will be something that becomes a little bit easier to understand, and then a little bit easier to understand.
Is there anything else you want to share that's key around how we are navigating relationships and intimacy in the world right now?
Well, we wish to say well done. We wish to say yes, 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 yes. Keep relating. Keep feeling one another. Instead of trying to figure one another out. We notice there's a lot of trying to figure one another out going on. And you look to the opposite and go, why do they do that? What is that about? What do they think of me? What do they think of the other? What do they think of me standing next to the other? What do they think of me in the world? What do I think of them in the world? We feel there is far too much thought, far too much analysis, and far too much energy and time is spent trying to figure the other out. We are inviting you and encouraging you, instead, if you so wish to make this choice, to progress, to be evolutionary, to be way-showers and pioneers for connection. We're inviting you to simply allow connection. That is all. Do I feel comfortable to connect? I don't need to know what is this person thinking right now. What's their deal? How did they get that way? Why do they act in that way? These things are distracting you from connecting. They are creating barriers and blocks to connect because you have decided that before you connect with someone, you must understand them. And we want to say to you, the way to understand them is to connect with them and to receive them without expectation and judgment. You will find that if you can do that, it becomes quite easy and a delight to understand them.
Do you see there to be a lot of disconnection that we're experiencing because of this right now?
Yes, yes. There are more and more you are waking up to and accepting the choice to meet one another without these demands, without these old ways of assuming one is, of deciding that if you have a certain physicality, you must be a certain way. There are many of you who are wanting and taking action to update this understanding, and we are very grateful for this. But yes, this is a part of what is and has created a great deal of separation and conflict between you.
And is it essential for us as human beings to be able to thrive, to have connection and intimacy in our lives?
Oh yes, you know this. You all know this to be true. There is no one listening to this that doesn't know this to be true. Connection is the way to unity, is it not? Connection is the way to comfortability. Connection is the way to safety. Connection is the way to learn. Connection is part of the evolutionary process. You are here to connect with all other life. And there is so much life here. You have been given thousands of ways to connect. We do not demand that you connect in one certain way. We are excited and fascinated to see how you choose to connect. But yes, moment to moment, you are connecting.
And for those who have had a lot of experiences of pain around their relationships or their intimate connections, what can you share for these people that just feel it's so painful and they can't overcome this and they can't experience this deep unity?
Yes, we also encourage you again to remove the pressure from yourself. There is no expectation that you must move out of pain and connect very quickly if you are to be a good or a whole or a person who is learning and growing properly, as the spirits have said you must be learning and growing properly. No. Again, we wish for you to connect in whatever way feels good and nice for you. If it hurts or scares you to think of connecting with the opposite, that's fine. Connect with the earth. Connect with yourself. connect with a pet, connect with the wind, connect with an elemental force, connect with a plant, connect with a crystal. It doesn't matter what you connect with. Begin connection, continue connection, sustain connection however it feels good. And for those who would like to connect more with the opposite but are still feeling some of the pain and conflict around connecting with the opposite, the recommendation we have for you is to, yes, again, begin very gently. And we invite you to find one thing, just one thing that you like, that feels good about the opposite. Just one thing. Feel that thing. Think about that thing. Notice that thing in others. Find other people who have that thing, other members of the opposite sex who also embody that one quality that you like about the opposite sex, and then add more qualities in. Add in as many as you can until the picture that you have in regards to the opposite sex has more qualities you like in it than qualities you don't. That's all. As you do this, you give the opposite opportunity to bring more of those qualities into their embodiment process, and the qualities that you do not like and that have created trauma and pain for you, they begin to dissolve and diminish. But if you continue speaking about those qualities, speaking about what the opposite has done to you that you do not like, then you will continue encouraging the opposite to embody those qualities. They will give you what you ask for, and what you ask for is what you focus on.
And this focus on the relating to the opposite and having that love for them and finding what that is, as you just said, does this work still relate to people that are attracted to the same?
Well, yes and no. It depends how much of the energy they have of the masculine or the feminine within them and how much they are embodying. But we wish to say to you, in regards to connection or sexual engagement or relationship, connect, engage, relate, well, we want to say with whoever you want, however you want, as many times as you want. It is beautiful to connect and engage. And it doesn't matter what gender the person has that you connect and engage with. But when we are speaking of healing the energies between the masculine and feminine, we are speaking to those who are embodied in one gender, healing and looking and working to resolve the energy between those who are embodied in the opposite gender. So if you are a man, then even if you have sexual preferences for other men, we are not talking about sex here. We aren't talking about sexual relating. We are talking about connection, and we are talking about meeting one another with unconditional love, right? This is what we are moving towards, what we are working with you to move towards. So if you're in the masculine condition, then your healing will still be with those who are in the feminine condition. So find women who have qualities that you like, even if you are not sexually attracted to them. Again, this is not about sex at all. So we hope that is clear.
Yes, that's clear. Is there anything else you are feeling to share?
Well, we simply wish to encourage joy and fun and playfulness. It is a wonderful thing to explore and engage with the opposite, however you choose to explore and engage. Let it be playful. Let it be interesting. Let it be silly. Let it be fun. Let it be all the things so that you can revel in the wonderful, unique opportunity you have to dance through this world as a human. It is a magnificent experience, is it not, to be human? Allow yourself to enjoy your human expressions, your humanity, your desires, your feelings, your wants, your yearning, your sexuality, your sensuality, all of the experiences in all of the forms. Allow yourself to enjoy them. Know that if you are giving yourself permission and allowing yourself to really be in the heart-centered joy of it all, then you are contributing in a positive way to the healing of the sexes, the healing of sexual energy within the world. You know that if you are pushing your sexual agenda onto someone else and they are not feeling it or wanting to pick it up, that doesn't feel good within your body. If it doesn't feel good within your body, then do not continue pushing or being forceful with that energy. Find where it feels good to express sexuality, sensuality, or connection, or love.
And is there any way that these energies are being impacted with the isolation that many people are in on the planet right now? Is this for the growth of the way that we connect?
Yes, it is. This is having a positive impact in the way that people are realizing the importance of connection. It has become glaringly obvious to those who it wasn't already glaringly obvious to that connection is life. To thrive, you must connect to others. To find and live sovereign. To dictate your own decisions and choices about what you do with your life, with your body, with your children's life. You must connect with one another. You must create community if you are to thrive. And so, yes, the isolation, the extreme expression of the separation has given you the extreme polarity for you to realize that what you want and what is more favorable and what is going to make all the difference to the entire planet is connection, not separation.
So in saying that, is working on these pieces one of the most important things that we can be doing right now?
Yes, most certainly. And for the rest of your incarnation. Connection, 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 connection is your pathway to bliss.
And how does that support the planet as a whole?
Well, because then every facet of the planet, every other vibrational frequency, meaning every other living thing, comes closer into connection. And so you are no longer separated. If you are creating, contributing, bringing in more energy of connection, then you are peaceful, you are respectful, you are all choosing to hold a space of love. You are holding a sanctuary for one another. You are co-creating your sanctum.
And is it true that, coming back to the masculine feminine polarities, is it true that we are coming into more of a feminine led way of being in the way that we relate and connect?
Yes, most certainly. You are coming to understand the ideal way to work with these different energies, and the ideal way is to allow the feminine, the earth, the void, the below to navigate and to, well, we want to say read, to see, to sense, to feel, to be. We allow these things to be, and then as we are being love in the feminine condition, we then are able to make choices about how to action love, and then we bring our action to the masculine condition, and together we have inhale and exhale. We have cause and effect.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I don't think I have any further questions, unless there is anything else you would like to share before we bring Eliza back.
Well, this is certainly a conversation we could have for a long time, but we are aware of Eliza's choices in this matter, and so we shall very much turn to you and all of you who are listening and who have taken the time to absorb this information. We offer you a deep bow of gratitude, for you are pioneers, you are leaders, you are way showers of this way of being in the world that is new, that is fresh, that is connective, that is a wonderful experience for you all, a fantastic adventure for you all to play and learn and grow in. And so we give you our gratitude, and we leave you now only in this moment and only in our vocal communications, for we are always speaking with you and always with you and always supporting you. And we simply leave you now in this moment with well, we simply want to say our gratitude for, as you learn and grow in your earth adventure, we too are learning and growing. And so you are as intelligent as we. Did you know that? You are as intelligent as we. You are as intelligent as we are. And as we share knowledge with you, you share knowledge right on back with us. And your knowledge comes from your experiences as you courageously move through the contrast to find connection.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Yeah, they're pretty chuffed about that. They thought that was fun.
Great. It was very fun for me too.
Yeah.
Beautiful messages,
Yeah.
beautiful confirmation around these pieces, and the simplicity of coming back into connection.
Yeah, it was so simple and so joyous, and I kind of want to say pure and innocent, like almost like really, like we all knew it as a child.
Yeah.
You know, it's like just be children and meet one another as children did.
Yeah, and
You
almost
know.
that like around the sexuality pieces, that like, you know, when you first understand that energy in yourself, it's like, oh, I want to explore this, but then we have these conditions that say we've got to shut this down, but they're just
That's
saying, no,
it.
just explore and
Just
follow what your
explore.
body wants. And
That's it. Yeah, as long as you're, you know, it's received and it's welcome, then it's like, why wouldn't you be exploring? You're there to explore your bodies and all of everything, how it works. It's like, I've only just really started to explore with these bodies. There's so much more to experience in them. You know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neat. Okay, awesome. What's that? Nearly a whole hour. All right, cool. Well, thank you for listening, beautiful ones. If you have something you'd like to ask the spirits about, or if you are in the Northern Rivers or the Sunshine Coast and you would like to be an interviewer, get in touch with me. I'm keen and excited and enthusiastic to work with you and to share this information. And you can find me at elizakendall.com if you like, or Eliza Kendall on YouTube. Sending you so much love, and thank you for incarnating. Love you so much, beautiful people. Thank you, Lauren, for this. It was really cool. I'm definitely going to have to listen back. There's lots of good info that I did not really get. So they got hints of it. But my conscious mind was like, what are they saying? I was like, go over there, go over there. So yeah, I'm excited to also listen.
Yeah, likewise. I was receiving it and I feel my heart just feels so open and activated. So
Yeah,
I'm
me
sure
too.
the viewers are feeling the same.
I hope so. Gorgeous, bloody creatures. I love you all. Thank you. See you next time. Ciao.